I tried going live on the other one. I'm having complications, so I'm going to go back to this one. Is it a live chat? Live chat. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm using my phone today. Because, sorry, the iPad is a little, whoops, showing the rest of my place. The iPad is still charging. My apologies. Let me just send a message to the people on the other device. Oops. So the iPad is definitely 20% down. Okay, so what I've noticed for these lives is that need to figure out devices. Sorry, I'm just letting people know that I'm devices. I'm on my phone on my phone live right now. Sorry. Okay. Just letting people know that that's what happened. I am going live. I am live at the moment. I just switched over to a different one. I don't know why I'm not able to go live from here. But I gather it just gives everybody like a tracking information as to what's going on. See, I have it here. So I'm learning the ways of the lives at the moment. It's sort of interesting. I don't know. Let me just see if I can cancel this one. Let me go edit. I'm going to cancel this. Manage. Sorry, guys. Live. Oh, can't do anything right now. I'm just checking to see how live. Play, save, share, download. No. 2 people waiting. Oh my Lord. Okay, guys, I am live. Just to let you know, if you are waiting, please go ahead and check me out on the live now. I had to set up a different one because clearly I was play quota, download video, can't download yet. I can't delete it either. Sorry, give me a moment. Oh, come on, Poshmark. No, not now. Not now. Not at the moment while I'm doing this, while I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Okay, I'm going to have to find a way to delete that one and then start over. I mean, I am live, so anybody can come over and see that I am live. Yesterday, I forgot to put my mic on. I'm going to put these lights on. It's a bit of a dim day today, partially because I guess, I don't know, it might start to rain, who knows. So going back into the discussion of yesterday, call it a live series. So in order for me to explain production, you're going to have to see it to understand how it's constructed and put together. So within the lives, you're getting a chance to see how I'm starting from beginning to end. We're somewhere in like the beginning stages of how to construct a track. And that at the moment is where I am right now. I'm using my phone today. And I do find that going live on all platforms at different times of the day de-stress me, because I find that I'm always stressed out when I have to edit. And I find that when you're going live, you're just going live as normally, right? You generally go through the whole thing. Sorry, I'm getting close here. Hi, welcome in. Sorry, I'm a little bit distant from there. Let me see if I can see it from, I don't think I can. Thank you for popping over. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I guess I'll just respond to you through here. So I'm basically, I don't know if you're here still, but what I'm doing with the lives is it's important to see. I think it's hard to explain how to develop a track by watching it in different videos. If you see it, oh, you're there? It just said, okay. Yeah, thank you for popping over. So I think it's important to see, I don't know if you're needing help with production, to build a studio space. Let me know. Maybe I can just do a sit down chat today. Or if you have any particular questions on what I'm A, about, and then B, what I'm actually doing. Just, keep me posted as to what you're needing help with. You do? Okay, what is it you're looking, so I'm gonna, my eyesight's pretty bad, so I'm gonna see me close up. What would you need help with? What kind of things? This is a great time to ask me questions because I will be going live daily. I find that going live is going to help, A, you're going to get to know me a little bit better, and then B, it's just easier for me to work through questions if you're seeing me in person, right? So, yeah, feel free to let me know what you're looking at. Are you wanting to learn how to set up a studio? Do you have a small studio space? Are you needing to understand music theory? Like, I'm generally here for almost most of the questions I can possibly answer if I can. And then going to the music composition. Sure, I took classes and stuff, but in all honesty, when I was taking music classes, they never taught me music composition. It was always like the last minute question, like so I'm basically self-taught with music composition, if that helps. It's the music theory and stuff they usually teach in schools. So that's basically it. But let me know. It looks like let me know what you're needing help with. We can talk through a couple of things as to what I've done. That's okay. You should see, I have a little space. All this you're seeing here, this is a little space for music. That's okay. I have a little space at the moment too. My parents built a studio, like a formal studio space for me before I left. So, and then I left South Africa. Then I was like, well, what am I going to do? They built a nice, beautiful, big studio space, and I was going to build up the studio. And then, I decided not to stay in South Africa in the end. So I've had to buy my own equipment and put everything together in a one-bedroom apartment. Can you believe it? So what you're seeing here is one section of the bedroom. So if you're needing, let me know. Like I can assist you. I can assist you with how to set it. I mean, if you give more explanation of like your space, design-wise or whatever, I can, there are a few things you can do. You're having trouble with beats. Okay, so okay, now hold on a second. There are a few ways to do this. I use my phone. Right now I'm recording on the phone, but I'm also creating beats from my iPad. So if you have Apple devices, do you have an Apple device? Are you using Apple devices at the moment? And if you are using Apple devices, yes, perfect. Then I can help you. Wait, let me put this on. Okay, what do you want to learn? Are you creating the beats from? You have the GarageBand on your iPad and your phone? Or are you just using a phone? Or do you have a whole setup like this? Like you said you have a small space, but you don't need... So, okay, let's talk about beats. That's a good question. Let's start there today. Do you want to listen to what we've been working on this whole time? Well, what I've been working on for the past couple of lives. So you can see what I've kind of developed. I was in fact going to go through adding in some more beats. So this, yeah, okay. Let me go ahead and do that. Let's test this out. So I'm going to play this. You're going to hear what I have. And do you have, okay, another question. Do you have a laptop and a desktop as well, or just iPad and phone? you can work with those two as well. And by the way, you're in a great position, because what happens is those beats you can use on, unless it's just one sound you can't use. But if you have one type of beat, you can use that for social media, and then it's never flagged, which is great. You have a laptop? Okay, cool. So you can have the setup. So the question is, do you just have GarageBand, or have you purchased Logic as well for your laptop and your iPad? If not, you can totally use GarageBand for this. This is like, there's a whole mechanism. It's like you can use all the free free quote-unquote DAWs, and you can do this. Let's go ahead and start listening to what I've done. I added a bit of a classical loop to it, only because it's an experiment, and I want to see if people who are involved with like the classical formal training are interested to see this as well. So let me go ahead and do this. Great. Cool. Yeah, now I feel as if going live on a daily basis seems to keep my mind from going absolutely mad, because what happens is, because I'm trying to do Facebook and YouTube and all the other platforms, it's a little stressful when you're editing. So this saves time, I think. Okay, so I'm going to play this. It's not perfect, but I can take out... Okay, so let's listen to the beat right now. Okay, so what I've done here, I've used 3 different mechanisms to put this together. Let me show you. I'm not going to bring sorry, my nose is itchy right now. So what we have here is this blue part over here and the one at the bottom. I transferred it from my phone into an email, and then emailed it down to myself, and then sent it over as an MP4, which is automatically done, right? You could do it MP3 or MP4, but sometimes producers like to have it as MP4. Oops. Let me lower the volume. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it in a loop. Let's leave it in a loop so you can hear what I've done. And I'm gonna start working on some more sections now. I know a lot of people are interested in the loops, hey? I think that's like that's like the thing, right? Like everybody wants to learn loops. Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Why am I not getting this? Okay, come on, man. Come on. Nope. I'm being silly. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. I was actually going to try to keep it as a consistent loop, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. Let's talk about what I've done here. Okay, so all of those that I've put together. Now I have other. Oh, you don't have the. Okay, that's okay. You don't have to. I have a laptop with GarageBand as well. What I can do is, let's start with something basic. Let's do it together. Do you have an iPad on you right now? If you have an iPad on you right now, we can talk through have you ever done loops before? Is this like the first time you're trying this out? Or is this something you've been working on? Or is it something that you're trying to develop into a more refined process? Let me know how far you are with your process, and we can take it from there. I used to teach at Guitar Center, but I wasn't teaching production there. I was teaching more music, like piano. People wanted piano and vocal, and I was like, but I want to teach production. And they're like, yeah, but the guys are doing that. So it was always like, the guys always had the cool like positions. I was like, nah, that's not like, you know. So that's my thing is okay. This is what we're going to do. Let's open up, let's say that you have your iPad. Do you have an iPad or a phone at the moment? I can't use my phone because I'm using my phone and my phone, this is going to, okay. So I'm opening up GarageBand right now. Okay. Let's start with the new one. This is GarageBand. You know what's cool about GarageBand and this? Okay, the phone is fine. It's more or less the same kind of layout. This is just a larger version of what you have. And to be honest, the new versions of GarageBand, sorry if I'm yelling. I have a mic. I forget I have a mic. I'm like, wait a minute. The new versions of GarageBand are just as good as the older version of Logic Pro because it's the same company, right? Mac actually created both. And they actually interlock together. So it becomes a very useful tool. So starting off, GarageBand is definitely, I studied on GarageBand. And then there was another app DAW I used when I was living in Tokyo. But that was a whole different, thing. Production there was different in the 90s than it is now. That's just like, okay, let's start from scratch, okay? Let's go, we're gonna close that up, okay? Okay, these are all my little experiments, but you see this little cross over here at the top? You should have one on your phone as well. Do you have yours set up? Is yours on? Do you have it? Okay. If you have it on, go to the cross. Now, have you downloaded these particular sounds on GarageBand? Okay. If you have, okay. So let's go ahead and press that cross. Yes, okay. Perfect. Okay, we're on the same wave here. Okay, cool. What you're going to do is you're going to open this section up, the new one. Don't open up any of the old stuff. Just like the stuff that's downloaded, that's going to be in your loops now. Okay? So what you're going to do now, do you have it open? I might as well just bring this over here. Okay. Once it's open, do you see this little thing over here? I think you have one on the phone as well. It's just a little bit smaller. It's just set up differently. If I were to, yeah, in this case, I can't move it on it has to be horizontal, which is kind of weird, but I guess the iPad's like that. Okay, now you're going to open up this little thing that looks like a loop. It looks like you're going to open up that. Okay, so if you have those other parts downloaded, perfect. If you have those other parts downloaded, what you can do is you're going to be able to open this section over here, which has the loop, and you can go down. You can see there's like a whole list of sounds there, okay? Okay, so once you have the whole list of sounds, just let's experiment. Let's make a, okay, so it has I just have the keyboard up here. So now at the top, it will give you the, let me give you an example. It gives you the instruments. There should be a line at the top that says piano, genre, description, okay, on your phone as well. Piano, you don't have to do that. It could open up to different sections, and you could have like drums and then bass and then guitar. Let me know if you've gotten there, and then we can move forward from there. Do you see anything on your side that actually gives you that? I think you should, right? The instrumental section. Okay. Let's start with all drums. Okay, let's start with all drums. There yet? Okay, I'll keep going. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to, since we've opened this up, let's start with all drum sections. And these are all the sounds that you generally will find in the parts that you've already downloaded from the sounds that they already have, right? So you're just playing, now what you're doing is you're experimenting with the sounds, okay? Let's say you like this piece. I like that sound. It's like a little spacey. I'm going to drag that. Okay. I'm going to drag that. I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, I know. I had to use my phone because this is actually dying on me. Well, it's it's going to pass away. We're having a computer problem right now. Well, no, not necessarily. Okay, so then this then creates a new sound. Okay. Are you still here? Are you needing to do anything in specific? Or are you wanting to do, I don't know if you're still here. Let me know if you're still here. If not, I'm going to just continue with wherever I am. Or I'll just continue with what I'm doing here. Let's do a close-up version, okay? Because the iPhone was a little hard to see yesterday. I used my iPhone for descriptions. Okay, so now we're going to do, let's find another beat sound. Let's find another. Or do you want to do individual, like if you want to create, let me know if you want to create individual beats. I mean, there is a way to do that as well. What you have to do is you will have to open up this section, okay? Well, not yet. Let's do instruments. Okay, so you can create beats with an actual drum kit and they give you like the pads. So there's that way to do it as well. There are a couple of different ways to create beats. I'm just giving you the simplest way. There is this way if you're wanting to create beats. Okay, you have a drum kit. Then you can go into, you can, oh, bummer. Okay. What I want to do is no, I don't want to do that. I want to, okay, and then you can try different beats, like if you want to do it like on an actual drum. I mean, sort of like a drum. Okay, electronic, percussion. Then you have those. So you can individually, you can set it up where you can create the beats this way. So there are a number of different ways to do this. Hey, it's not, there's not just one way. And I do like GarageBand because it does, and then you can record the beats. And then it gives you okay, so there are a number of ways. Okay. So that's basically, yeah, I mean, it's a long process. I mean, I suppose I can't answer all the questions at once, but there are different ways to create beats. You could create it with the loops, which is what I was showing at the beginning, which is the easiest way, which is how I've done that. Or you can create beats using the drum kit that you find on GarageBand. There are a couple of different variations on GarageBand. You can kind of see at the top over here, so we can go back and edit. It also says, I don't know if it says, I think it does say it, at the top of the instruments. So let's go back to what you generally see when you, acoustic, bluegrass. So it gives you, I mean, I used to play drums back in the day. So this opens up the door to be like a, so you could, I mean, it's not a real drum set, but in theory, because it's touch sensitive, you could go about this way. And once you're ready with the rhythm or the beats, you can then record it, but make sure it's done properly. Like this goes for any instrument. Once you have something down comfortably in your head and you feel like it's repetitive enough to actually put down and it's going to work, then record it, but don't record it while you're practicing. So that's like going back to the authentic approach to beat making. If you want to do it the more electronic way, you can do that as well, as I mentioned here. So you can go into the section over here, adjust it into it has percussion as well, electronic, okay, and then you can go into that, and it probably gives you, and there's so many things you can do. This should be the same as you find on your phone. It's just, like I said, this is just a larger version of what you have on your phone. I just don't have the phone available today. What I should write is probably for these lives, I will adjust it maybe, like, for instance, my focus was to basically focus on trying to complete a piece so people can see what I'm doing. But I could say specifically on certain days, maybe Monday I can do phone, like music production, whatever. And then Tuesday I can do like iPad on GarageBand. And then maybe Wednesday. I mean, these are all the things I'm thinking about. This is the first time I'm kind of working through how to go about doing the lives, but I do feel as if the lives save time, and then I can talk to everybody in person as well, which is great. I think it's fantastic. Let me know if you want to continue with loops, or if you want to make the beats, or if you want to see me like do it on like in live, like you're watching me do it live. And then utilize that kind of thing into my thing, so to see if it helps you, because it is going to be a little bit hard for me to see where you are. But we can, like I said, we can definitely walk through it. It's not an issue. Okay, so there are a few ways to go about doing this. As I said, I guess just send me a message if you're interested as well, and I can see how else I can help you. But like I said, technically there are a few ways you can go about making beats, right? There's not just one way to do it on GarageBand. So let's do this for instance. Let's go back to this track. Okay, so I used loops. So the top part, why is this so? This top one, I used the loops from this section. Now, I had to re-download, I had to do something with my computer backed out, so it was a bit of a problem. I don't know if you're still on. I don't know if you are, okay. Anyway, there are a few things I can do. And I used that. Then I went about using a sound from my phone the other day, and then I transferred that sound into the computer. And now we're using those sounds. These are the sounds that I have from the phone. Okay, those are from the phone. Okay, well, I'll be around if you want to talk more specifically about the phone layout. Just let me know if, like I said, I don't know if you're still here at the moment. I'm not seeing any messages, but this is the same. As I said, this iPad is the same, more or less, layout as you find on GarageBand on your phone. I've tested both out. I work with both as well, so it's not like a big, like too much of a difference. It should be like a working kind of mechanism. See, so you have different sounds. Okay. Let's go into, and then say for instance you have Logic, right? Those sounds could be retransferred into Logic. Like these songs, whatever you're doing on here, then goes straight into Logic once you've set down something, for instance. And you can then transfer that part, if you want to, into, once it's comfortable enough, into a format where you can download it and then send it over to your email. So there are lots of things. It's technical. Hey, music is not just a one-sided thing. I do recommend, if you are doing beats, like learning a little bit of drumming would be good as well, because the beats will help. Like understanding rhythm is like very, very big for like beat making. I think that's people, I don't know if everybody, yeah, it's technical. I go deeper down into the technical side of things. I don't just say, okay, just create a beat. Like my theory is all about like go in and learn the actual technical side of where it all came from. That's my thing, because I was teaching music at Guitar Center and Buck to Rock. So for me, technical was always part of my like process. Like that's how I did it, you know? Okay, so let's go into let's see what we can do here. Let's just go back to this again. I'll do a beat just now. I'll create a beat. So let me create a beat on here. Let's go back to creating a beat now that we're, so it's in 85. Okay, let's start with this. I'm going to reuse this. We're going to go back into this format. New, just going to do new. So we're going to use this type of sound. Let's just go back to, I'm not going to make it complicated. It's very complex, hey? There are lots of things that go on here. So you can actually do something like that individually, or you can use it from there. Sometimes it's easier to just get it from like, okay, I like that, but I'm gonna slow that down. Oops, where did it go? And then you drag and send. Oh, whoops, no, that didn't do it. Sorry, I didn't drag. I drag and send it to, so this section over here would be creating your own individual beat, that space. So you can't put anything in that space. That would be like your area. But I'd recommend starting with like a few different things first and then getting an idea. You know, that's my personal opinion on this kind of stuff. Okay. And let's change it to tempo. Okay, so tempo right now, beats per minute, tempo right now is 110. We want to get it to a similar tempo as you find on the computer. Okay. So change that to, or the iPad, or the desktop, or the laptop, or whatever else that you're using at the time. You want to try to keep everything in the same, like, format. Because if it's not the same, it's just going to sound weird. So we're shifting down to 85. Okay, so the tempo is going to be 85 now. So it slowed it down drastically once it's on there. Okay, let's say that we're going to use this, okay? I sort of like that sound, so we're going to layer it now. Okay, so we're going to layer that sound. We're going to layer that sound to... First, let me do this. We're going to just record. Okay, record. So I'm recording the beats now. I'll adjust the volume later. Okay. I think that's enough. Okay, so that's been recorded. Okay, so that's just a few decimals of what it is. Now we're going to go into what this looks like. Okay, so that was recorded. Those two parts were recorded. This is from the loops. This is not from actually making the individual sounds and beats. You can do that, but that's going to take a bit longer. So this is like this is called the shortcut. What I'm doing here is the shortcut, basically. Okay. So from here, I'm going to transfer this sound. Let me just see if the volume is good enough. I'm going to adjust the volume, hey? I don't know if one section is, you can go back in and adjust the volume. Which one is it on now? So there's a section where you can adjust the volumes. Okay. Okay, so this is called making a loop. This is a loop. This is just a small piece of a vision. Now I'm going to send this to my, my email. And then from the email, I'm going to download it as an MP4, which is going to be done automatically. And then transfer that into this track so we have it to play with. I like doing it this way because you have more freedom to experience or experiment different sounds, and it's a lot easier to do it from the iPhone and the iPad than to just get it from the softwares on, because you can walk around with this, right? You can walk around, you can go outside and like create a beat. Or you could be sitting in like your car if you're on a break or something, and you could be doing a beat. So there's a good purpose to have portability. I do like what they've done where it's become more accessible and more portable to do this kind of stuff. So I think it's cool. I was using GarageBand. I still use it. You can see I'm still using it. I was using GarageBand when they first had GarageBand out on the first, they didn't have it on the first laptop, okay? The first laptop was this like bubble laptop. So they had Photoshop. I remember using Photoshop because I studied the arts and we did graphic design. So I had the Photoshop, and then later on they put GarageBand on the laptops, which was cool. Then I was like, oh my God, I don't have to go anywhere. I have it on my... So I was always buying Apples because of that reason, because it was just accessible and it's free, right? I mean, it's free for users of the Apple devices. So I like what they've done. They're advancing. So now this is going to go in. We're going to close it. And we're going to go, so it says you have, when you hold it down, you can then share song. So that's the loop. Now I'm going to transfer it. I'm just not going to show you guys my email at the moment, but yeah. So we're going to share it on email. Exporting. It's exporting right now. Okay, and then my email. And then, okay, and then we're going to open it up. Now we're going to open, great. Now we're going to open that up on the email on the computer. It's kind of cool. It's like everything kind of works together. I sort of like it. Okay, now I'm going to open this up. Okay, now the new sound is on here. Let's double check what it sounds like. Magic. How cool is that? So you've now created another loop on top of, I don't know if anybody's here. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to download this. Download. Okay, so I'm just showing you what I tried doing yesterday, but I was thinking of actually adding more sections to it. I don't know why this feels a little weighted. Okay, go. Downloads. I think that's the new one. Okay, that's it, not now. Okay, so we're going to test this out. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's put this, you're going to, from the beginning, okay, you're going to drag this down, that sound, okay, you're going to send that over there. Okay, now, it's not going to, because it's compacted, all those two sounds have created one loop. Which now becomes a larger section of the loop that you've now created on a larger vision, right? Which is what I've done here. I don't know what the volume is going to sound like, but let's test it out. And then you can adjust it accordingly. So you've created your own loop from your phone or your iPad, depending on what it is you want to do. So this was not possible back in the 90s. We did not have the accessibility that everybody has now with production. I mean, everything is more portable, which is really, really cool. I like the fact that the portability is doable now, right? So now we're going to, okay, I don't know, I don't know, yeah, I don't know if anybody else is here. So I'm just going to continue the conversation through this process. It probably will help somebody. Let's see. So there are many, many things. I don't know why this feels. Many, many things you can do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the computer, copy. Okay, we're going to copy that section, and we're going to loop it, and then paste. Okay, and then we're going to paste again. I know there's a control something. I never remember the paste. And yeah, you could do hip hop. You could do anything. It's just, you know, you have to have an ear to figure out what works. I was testing out a classical piece because I was experimenting with classical sounds. But this can always change. I mean, I think I've done it on a video before. We started off with one sound, and then that one song transformed into something else. Okay, so yeah, this is where we are right now. And I found that doing it on YouTube and then going back and talking about it on Facebook is also useful, because then I don't have to and I would be going live there too. I don't have to rediscuss it. If people really want to see the process, they can come over to YouTube and check it out. So it literally becomes very useful to both do live, and then to also talk about the portability of things and how everything works now. I mean, it just wasn't like this back in the day. Like, it's really cool that it's all possible, right? I do recommend, like I said before at the beginning, if you're doing beats, don't just do beats. Also consider perhaps taking some percussion classes. I was a percussionist in high school. And learning the understanding of how, I mean, beats are cool, but I think also connecting it with the professional side of drumming becomes also important. I know a lot of drummers that I knew, before they were doing beats, they were actually drummers. So I know that successful drummers are beat makers. It's just a known fact. It's just like producers in studio spaces are generally people who do drums, because they have to understand the beats, which is like not everybody does, but generally the people I know or I've known are like successful drummers, and then they start building it up, you know? I mean, so let's do this. I was going to take this out. Okay, don't laugh. Okay, so you don't have that. Okay, so, and then there are other pieces. I mean, if I were to use this as a percussion sound for a performance, you could do it. So these beats you can use for lives as well. Take this as an example. If I were to change it up and use another piece that's sunny, for instance. Something does sound a little off. Okay, so there are different things I can be doing here. Or you could do... So what I would have to do is I would have to go back, and you can see that there are parts at the end that I'd have to go back and readjust. So if the sound is off and the beat does not seem to work, you go back and readjust it. You can see I didn't really adjust these. So I would have to go back and readjust these or delete them. Okay, and then start over again. But this is just a general outline of a process. So... yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can go live and then restart it on here and then do the iPhone. It's going to have to be maybe one day. I might even consider that. Maybe doing one day on a live specifically on the phone, and then another day on, obviously, the iPad. And then, yeah, I could, you know, we can open up GarageBand on the desktop or a laptop. It just depends. And then, you know, depending on the situation, I can bring it forward or back in certain cases. Okay, so that's the general outline. I'm going to go back and readjust this because you can see the sounds are not fantastic. So what I'm going to do is, you know what, before I do anything, so the whole thing about composing music, I'm going to stick to the one that I was originally doing. Not perfect. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to record those sections now. Let's do, only because I had a general idea, I have to adjust the sounds and let me just go back to this. The beats are a little off. The beginning seems fine. Once we start moving forward, it changes a little bit. So I need to move these. You can see I'm moving them now. So all these need to be moved. I can tell it just needs to be adjusted ever so slightly. So I'm moving them, okay, so I can... Okay, so I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to just move some pieces over here that I might not need. Like this over here. Be consistent. Move this over here. Okay, there's some part that might not... Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute, where was I starting? This needs to be moved over there. So you can take out and add in accordingly. Okay, so this is just a... This is just a starting point. But I do feel, I find, because I am using the phone to create my own sounds on Facebook, and then YouTube doesn't have an issue with me using my own tracks that I create from loops on GarageBand or Logic, it makes my life easier to understand social media, and then you don't have copyright claims. So I'm using it on the level of creating... Sorry, I'm busy editing. I hope nobody's there, like, watching me from behind. Okay. It just helps the process along when you're trying to be, like, when you're doing social media, and then you don't, like, panic about, like, people taking down the tracks because it wasn't compliant to copyright claims and all that stuff. So this is the other approach. Like, if you're not going to, I think there are different apps that do allow you to do that, but I still think it's even safer, more safer, for you to just create your own tracks. That's just that's my go-to and my personal opinion. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, they were definitely out of sync. I can see, I mean, it does need to be a little bit consistent, right? Needs to be something there. Totally out of sync. Let's see if that makes a difference in a few moments to the sound. And you can always go back and watch this, you know. This is not set in stone, but this gives you an idea of what you can do, which is kind of cool. And I think it works accordingly. You know, it's just useful. And I know a lot of people have, there are lots you can do. Lots and lots and lots you can do. It just depends on where you're taking your music. I mean, are you advanced? Are you at the beginning, still learning your composition? And not even that, still learning songs? Are you still understanding songs? Or are you at the stage where you're deciding that, like I said, I'm self-taught when it comes down to music composition. I did not have anybody teaching me this. I had to take all my music classes and then finally realize that nobody was going to teach me composition. I just did it on my own. I think in schools now, universities now, may probably teach music composition, but when I was studying in high school and junior high, with music and musicians and all these other, they did not do that. So I know that high schools and junior highs definitely do not teach music unless they have a recording production studio class. Then this goes hand in hand with not just learning how to produce, but learning to understand songs and stuff. Definitely production, hey? So music composition literally goes hand in hand with production. And I always knew, from when I was younger, I knew this is like, I want to learn production. This is where I felt most comfortable. I like coming up with things and the technical side of figuring things out, that kind of thing. So this is where I wanted to go. Like, not everybody's there. There are more females that want to be singers than actual, like, production, but let's see if that makes a difference. Let's start over here. Okay, so we've sort of edited that. So you're watching me go through the whole process of editing now too. Okay. So I'm going to record those in loop format, okay? So these are going to be like loop sounds. And then what I can do is take them out and put them back in. So in theory, you can make loops and beats through anything. Now the keyboard also has percussion. You can use the percussion sounds that you have on the loops from the DAW, and then take out the actual sound, and then look, you can see. Like for instance, let's use this as an example. I was testing out yesterday. So if I, oops, no, that's not what I want. I want this. So if you want to create beats from, for instance, you have a keyboard. Not everybody, you can do it this way too. So you have to see, you know, if you have a keyboard, you have to see what the sounds make. Now, if you have Logic, there's a more advanced version of how to do beats and stuff on Logic. I'll show you what this looks like on Logic. Logic is cool. This is like $5 a month if you get it, and it connects up with the GarageBand on your. You can't get it on the phone. You have to get an iPad. But say, for instance. Okay, so we're opening up the GarageBand from here, and then we're opening it up as show in sound library. Okay. Oh, that one didn't download. So I'd have to go back in and re-edit it. So it generally would transfer the sound that you did. So whatever you did on GarageBand would send straight over to Logic. Now this is more advanced because there are things you can do in here that you can't do on. This is a little bit more technical. The Logic on here is more technical than what you find. This is having like an engineering format, right? This is like the basic engineering. And this is a smaller version of what you find on the desktop. So I don't know. I mean, I think having both would be useful. That's just my personal opinion. So we're going to change back to this. Where's my keyboard? We're going to just open, you know what we're going to do? We're going to open a new keyboard section. So we're going to go into new track. Okay. Software, that's fine. We're going to change that sound from that to piano again, only because I want to keep it. So we're going to record that, okay? So it's not going to be... And then we're going to split them up. Okay, so we're going to record that now. Okay. Just over that in the meantime. So, and then that's going to be another loop. see what we have here. Okay, and then, so all of these become like technical, and then you have to take out and add in, and it becomes more and more. So as you layer, the more in depth you become, right? But the more interesting the sounds get. So that's important to know, that if you break it up, I don't know why it feels so weird. It feels, something's wrong. Okay. What was I going to do? I was going to copy and paste, right? So we're going to go, no, make sure it's on your app. Copy, paste, yeah, and paste, and paste. So guys, this is not like overnight. I don't know, like I've been doing this since the late 90s, right? I was, you know, and even before that I was doing music, so it's not, in theory, if you want to calculate my music career in learning and education and stuff, I started at 3 years old in Japan, because in Japan you learn music at a younger age, even in Asia for that matter. So learning music at a younger age is a normal thing, mainly piano. So I started at like 3. So I've been doing this for 41 years. Okay, 41 years in learning, and I'm still learning music. So 41 years in music, you have to calculate the amount of time in the process and the mental space that it's taken me just to get to this point. And I'm still not like at the place that I want to be. So this is like many years of formal training and experimenting and trying out new things and doing it on my own. This stuff is self-taught. I never took any GarageBand Logic Pro X classes. I had to learn how to do this on my own. It's just something I enjoy doing. So it's not, you know, I mean, maybe now they might have, obviously they have classes in production that are more accessible. But when I was in school, they didn't have any of this stuff. I'm learning the process with everybody else. Paste, paste, paste. Hypothetically speaking, so this will, you know, you're going to take out the sections, of course, but you've now created your own loops from doing something like this. This is called a loop. This is called, you can change this to a beat. Let's take that sound, let's create it from, let's experiment. Let's go into percussion, let's say drums. Let's see what it sounds like on drums. I'm curious. I want to see. What does it sound like on drums? Let's see if it's even a possibility. Oh, I have to download producer kit. Oh, I have to still go back and do this. Oh, bummer. Okay, so at this time, oh, actually, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so if you were to refine it a little bit more, I mean, that's just, okay, so, but you can create beats with the keyboard, is my point. Like, if you have a beat sound and you want to recreate it, you can do it. Okay, so we're going to go back to, that's what I've done on the keyboard. So this has created that on the drums. So that's a beat. You've created a beat, okay? You've just done it a little bit more technical, okay? So that's, okay. Okay, so that's another approach. There are so many ways to create beats from here. I'm going to go back to keyboard though. Piano, sorry, piano. We're going to go back to piano on that. Let's see what it sounds like. So you can always, okay, so that can be adjusted. The same thing applies for GarageBand. You do this on Garage, it's the same thing. Once you have GarageBand, like you understand, this is exactly the same layout. They just have more technical things on here. I've checked both. So. So now let's see, we don't need all of those. So we're going to take out, let's see if we can play around with this. So we're going to move, I don't know. Let's see what this does. Not sure. Let's see. Okay, so then what you do is we go more in depth with this, and then you can start taking out sections. So if it sounds like it's too busy, it probably is too busy, and that's when you start eliminating the things that you don't need. So that's what I'm going to touch up on today. I'm going to go on to Facebook now and talk more about it. But that's, you know, I mean, beat making is it's complex, but it makes it easier once you understand how all of these things work, right? What I will do is, if this is charged, this was not very well charged today. I had to go for a walk because I needed to exercise. But once it's charged, I will then use the phone. Say tomorrow, we'll specifically focus on the phone tomorrow, and then I can show people if they feel like that's something they want to do. The phone, okay? So there's just many, many things you can do. There are so many ways of going around this question of beats that it gets tricky and interesting, but it's like a full circle type of experience, right? So, like I said, you can create beats with the sound of the piano, change it into the drums from what you've already recorded, and then use it in that format if you play piano. I mean, I don't know if everybody plays piano, but that's my approach. If you have beats and you like drums and you have like a percussion, like an electronic drum kit, that's the other way to do it, electronic drum kit. But you can create beats on here. Electronic drum kit is on here too. You just need to use your fingers to tap on the beats and then create the rhythm and practice the rhythm a couple of times and then record it. And that's it, folks. We're going to just leave it here for now. Let me just check the time. Yeah, I did about an hour. Hey, I'm going to try to do this. It de-stresses me a little bit more when I do the lives, if you want to call it anything, but the lives, and then it helps everybody get to know me, right? So it's not just the channel, it's about, I'm just watching my cat. They're so cute. I have a cat and a bunny rabbit. Sometimes I bring them on, so it's like it's like stress. It's de-stressor. Shame he's sleeping right now. He's like, I'm sleeping, stop bothering me, it's too noisy. Okay, folks, so I'm gonna love you and leave you, and then tomorrow around the same time I'll be back. I will use the iPad to record the live, and then I'll switch it and then use the phone if people need to learn the GarageBand stuff, and we're gonna go through that. So great, thank you for popping over. I much appreciate everybody coming in, whoever's popped in, just to see like bits and pieces and how parts are put together. there's lots. Like I said, I have about 42 years under my belt on music. So I'm not just coming from like somebody who's just experimenting. It's somebody who's actually had the training for all these years and continued, because I found that it's important to continue with music, whether you're teaching it or not, whether, you know, it's just an important, I think it's important skill. It's therapeutic. It's cool. You can socialize with it. It's something everybody enjoys, and that's how I see music. So there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry about the other live. I need to figure out what happened there. I did start it up on on a on a laptop, so I don't know if that was the error, but yeah, that's what we've done here. Okay. Thank you again.